Title: My brother, who runs a hotel in Miami, called me and asked, "Where is your wife?" I replied, "She's on a business trip in New York." He responded, "No, she's at my hotel in Miami with another man. Start." My brother's voice was low, urgent, carrying a weight that sliced through the midnight quiet. "Where is your wife?" I frowned, half asleep. "She's in New York, business trip." A pause, then his words detonated. "No, she's here, at my hotel, Miami, with another man. And she's using her ATM card." Silence roared in my ears. I gripped the phone, frozen. My brother had no reason to lie. His tone was too steady, too heavy. I ended the call with a calmness I didn't feel. My chest was fire, but my mind was ice. I met her 12 years ago, and I believed she was my anchor. She was laughter in the mornings, warmth on cold nights. I built my life around her trust, her promises. I gave her everything: security, freedom, loyalty. She gave me routine smiles. I thought they meant love. Now, those smiles were ashes. It wasn't the first crack. I had noticed shadows in her eyes, strange late-night texts she dismissed as work emergencies, trips that stretched longer than scheduled. I wanted to believe her. That's the cruel part. Betrayal isn't just their lie, it's your willingness to swallow it. But now, with my brother's words, the mask shattered. No more doubt, no more excuses. That night, I didn't rage, I didn't break. I sat in the dark, planning. Revenge, I knew, wasn't about fury. Fury is sloppy. Revenge is mathematics. First, I called my brother back, asked him to gather proof. Discreetly. He understood. Blood knows silence. Within hours, I had surveillance footage. My wife in the lobby, her hand brushing against another man's arm like she'd never brushed mine in years. Receipts from the bar charged to her card. Her signature, bold, careless. Second, I called my lawyer. I set in motion documents I'd kept shelved for years. Prenuptial clauses, property transfers, quiet account separations. Third, I prepared her trap. Not a confrontation in rage, but a stage where she'd expose herself. Revenge isn't about what you do to them. It's about making them destroy themselves. Morning arrived. She called me, her voice syrup-sweet, pretending to be in New York. She even faked background noise. I played along, told her I missed her, told her to work hard. She had no idea her performance was already on record. The next day, I instructed my brother to accidentally let her know the hotel had a security system that logged every guest, every card swipe. I knew her paranoia would ignite. Sure enough, by evening, my phone rang. Her voice cracked with panic. "Something's wrong. Someone must have hacked my card. It says I was in Miami." I stayed silent a moment, let the weight sink. "Really? Miami?" I said softly. "That's strange, because my brother runs that hotel." The silence on her end was thick, suffocating. I could almost hear her heart hammering. She stammered, tried to spin a lie, but I cut her off. "Don't bother. I have the footage. The receipts. Him." Her gasp was small, broken. That's when she realized the ground under her feet was gone. I didn't yell, I didn't curse. That would have given her power. Instead, I invited her home. She walked in, pale, trembling. I placed the evidence on the table. Photos, statements, bank logs. Each piece another nail in the coffin of her performance. Her eyes darted like a cornered animal. "It was a mistake. He means nothing." I leaned in, steady. Mistakes don't last months. Mistakes don't check into hotels with your signature. Tears came. Desperation followed. She begged. But the thing about betrayal, it kills the sound of a plea. I wasn't listening to her words. I was listening to the silence inside me where love had once lived. Then, the final blow. I handed her the divorce papers, already signed. Bank accounts emptied of shared assets. Property shifted into my name. She wasn't just losing me. She was losing everything she had leaned on. Her face crumpled. That was the moment, the real revenge. Not rage, not violence, just the cold realization that the man she thought she could deceive had been 10 steps ahead. Within weeks, it spread. Family knew, friends knew. She wasn't the victim. She was the architect of her own downfall. The man she betrayed me with, he disappeared, left her in ruins. She tried to claw back. Messages, letters, promises. I ignored them all. Silence was my final weapon. Silence cuts deeper than words. Now, when I think of her, I feel nothing. That's the true freedom. I don't replay the nights we shared or the lies she told. I only remember the calm, the way I dismantled her carefully, piece by piece, until all she had left was the reflection of her betrayal staring back at her. People say revenge doesn't heal. They're wrong. It doesn't just heal, it teaches. It taught me that love without loyalty is poison, that betrayal doesn't deserve anger, it deserves strategy. And it taught me one final truth. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is not raising your voice, but lowering it. Not losing control, but taking it back. So when she called me that night in panic, believing she still held the power, she didn't know she was already finished. And I was already free.